guys, so this is Nathan Mendelsohn here with Ricardo Horta to show you guys a little technique here for tackle and grapple. Okay, I'm going to show you guys my highest percentage armbar attack here. Okay, so this is where I get most of my submissions from. Okay, I really believe in trying to dominate your opponent positionally before you try to submit them. So I really only have one really good submission, okay, and it's my armbar from the top mount. Okay, so the rest of the time I'm just worried about top mounting the guy. Okay, when I get him here first, I'm going to put my arms nice and wide, okay, because I really don't want to let the person escape. So first moment, arms nice and wide. My hips are going to be in nice and heavy here onto Ricky's ribs, and I'm going to lock my feet. Okay, I'm never going to stay up on my knees here unless I can get my knees high enough to step on my opponent. Otherwise, I make it too easy for him to escape to the half guard. Okay, so if I don't have his elbows chicken winged out yet, I'm going to keep my hips in and I'm going to lock my feet. Okay, now the guy's not just going to let me bring my knee up nice and easy, right? He's going to keep his arms in here nice and tight usually. Okay, so I'm going to bring all my weight out to this side. I'm going to come with my hand now. I'm going to bring it in nice and deep inside Ricky's collar. Okay? Has to be a good, strong grip here. Because now when I go for my other hand, Ricky has to be worried enough that I'm going to choke him that he comes to try to block with this hand. When he comes to try to block with this hand, he's going to open up that whole side. Okay, so as he opens up that side, my knee is just going to come up now, and it's going to touch all the way to Ricky's head. Okay, this is a detail that people miss. Sometimes they bring their knee up, but there's a little space here. If I have a little bit of space, I'm not going to be controlling his arm completely. So my knee has to come all the way till it touches his head. Now once it's touching his head, I'm going to come to my S mount here by straightening my leg and turning sideways. Okay? Once I get into this position here, I'm nice and comfortable. Okay? Now I'm going to come with my hand here. I'm going to punch his elbow deep into my hip. In this position now, all of my weight is on my right thigh. I'm not keeping my weight on my left knee here. If my weight's on my left knee, then there's no pressure on Ricky's belly. He's not feeling my weight. Okay, I want to put all my weight to the side here so that I'm nice and heavy. Okay, right about now, Ricky knows I want to armbar him, so he's going to start defending. Okay, here, I'm going to take my arm. I'm going to sneak it in between his arms here. Okay, always the arm that's closer to his head. And my hand's going to come and hug down here low onto my hip. I'm not even going to make a grip. I'm just going to hug it nice and tight to my hip. Okay? This is going to ensure that Ricky doesn't sneak his elbow out. If he can't sneak his elbow out, he cannot escape. Okay? So what I'm doing here is I'm pinching with my elbow nice and tight so that his elbow stays pinched into my belly. Now there's nowhere for his elbow to go. Okay? From here now, I'm going to come with my opposite hand and I'm going to grab his knee. Okay, now sitting forward, still keeping my weight here, I'm going to pass this leg in front of his head. Okay, now really important, when this leg comes in front of his head, my heel has to pinch really tight. Now when I lean back now, I'm going to catch myself on my right elbow. Again, I'm going to keep this knee to me. So when I sit back, I'm going to lay right to here. Okay, what Ricky wants to do is sit up on top of me. Number one, I've got this leg keeping him down. Number two, I've got my elbow for base here. Number three, I've got this grip on his leg so he can't scissor his legs. Okay, here's going to be really, really tough for Ricky to escape. Okay, the way that most people control here is they try to hold like a mataleão and they put here a hand underneath my leg, okay, as I'm holding him here. Here, if Ricky wants to stall me, I'll wait all match long here. I'm usually winning by points at this point because I came from the top mount. So if he wants to stall me out here, I'll stall him out here. Okay? Until I notice his arm's going to start losing its circulation. It's going to start turning white here because this is a lot of pressure. As soon as I feel this starting to get loose, I'm going to let go for 1 second. I'm going to come with my hand and I'm going to give a palm strike here on Ricky's elbow. Boom. That's going to free his hand. As soon as his hand comes free now, my arm's going to come back and it's going to hug to my chest. Now the hand comes off of the hip straight to his wrist. Now this hand comes on top of that hand. And my elbows come nice and tight. Okay? Ricky's last chance here is as I lay back to turn his thumb down and run his legs the opposite direction and do the hitchhiker escape. Okay, that's his only way out. So one more time. When he comes back here, okay, as I pull this arm back, if I leave no space in between his hand and my chest, and both hands are over the top of each other. Try to turn and do the hitchhiker escape. Not gonna happen, okay? Because I do not allow his wrist to turn. No space. I never lay back and pull on his arm like a lever. I keep no space, elbows tight, heels always pinching, and then I lean back nice and slow. I get Ricky to tap me. Okay? Hopefully that was helpful for you guys. A really important thing there is in all those little tiny details. Okay, so please go over the video, practice those details, okay, and see if your percentage of getting those top mount arm bars doesn't increase. I bet it will. Okay, thanks a lot, you guys. And Tackle and Grapple, thanks a lot for the opportunity.
Faz uma